Hello and welcome back to the port. I'm the Gav Major and this is a Let's Play in the Tech Tree Tier 6 Russian Destroyer Minsk. Now a Let's Play is basically where I explain what I'm doing as I'm going along basically, and hopefully maybe you can take something from it or you can correct some of my gameplay. So this is a Tier 5 and 6 game of domination on crash zones. The first thing I always do is check the shipping forecast on the between of a Gnevi, a Fubuki, a Gaidi, a Shirisatsuyu, an Aoba, a Nuremberg, Queen Elizabeth, California and Gneisenau. So things to mention: Gneisenau torpedoes, Nuremberg very aggressive sonar, Gaidi also has sonar, and apart from that everything else should be pretty usual stuff. Spawned obviously on the left flank, and well, let's see, not exactly getting buckets of support from our support ships. Gneisenau might be going backwards. Nuremberg's doing loop-de-loop. Let's see, what else have we got? We have Monahan, which is coming in alongside me, which is quite nice. Enemy California spotted. Well, no hope in hell of me being able to torpedo her using my RDF indicator. She appears to be the nearest ship, however, there could also be something between me and her, so that's always something to bear in mind, especially considering the number of destroyers on the enemy team. Nuremberg is not good news considering her very aggressive nature. Okay, enemy Gnevi now spotted over at the Charlie objective. Nuremberg being the nearest ship, yeah, that would probably match up. So as you can see, he's 5.6 away. I mean, there's a potential that I might be able to get a sneaky torpedo out on him. I mean, I've got to get that down to 4 kilometers, so I've got to get about a kilometer closer. Probably got to start turning away now. Get the engine boost on. Nope. Pretty much impossible unless you go for a real full-on stealth build, which well, I guess I could go further, but at the end of the day that's not what my intention is with this. Basically just trying to prove there that torpedoes isn't what you should be doing in these. So what should you be doing in the Minsk? Well, ideally I need more distance between me and that Nuremberg. I mean a lot more distance. Probably expecting about 8 kilometers plus really. Because the Minsk is one of those destroyers in which you want to shoot with, and usually keep as much range as possible using your speed and that distance as an advantage in order to just pick away. If you start to be focused or fired upon, then you need to obviously take that into account and start breaking off. This is one of the reasons why down in the description, this is obviously my command build, you'll note that I have taken Violette. The reason being is that does improve or reduce, I should say, the time at which I am detected after firing my guns. It takes it down from 20 seconds. Not quite sure what it takes it down to in this build, but you can take it all the way down to 15 seconds if you have a fully upgraded Violette. Oh, enemy Gneisenau. That's a better target, especially considering how close he's got now. Always worth just testing the water with the torpedoes because you never quite know. I mean, chances of them doing anything are very unlikely. However, the chances may be making it, well, you never know. Gonna keep the rudder going, gonna need that. I probably do have unstoppable, but that's only really going to affect the engines. Gneisenau has already given up on me. Gonna have to do a very hard turn. Those short-range Russian torpedoes actually finding their mark on the Gneisenau, scoring a flooding, forcing the damage con out. And you know what a damage con means? You can start the fire again and restart racking up the damage. So here we are, we're going to try and find our mark. Thankfully we're almost getting behind other enemy ships, so hopefully that does mean there's other targets for that Gneisenau to find. Getting a fire started, which is nice. Also, the nice one about being behind an enemy ship is that it means the secondaries are going to focus on that ship instead, because secondaries always focus on the nearest enemy ship. Enemy Gnevi would make a nice target. However, I need to probably keep this California escorted in some way, so I'm going to stay up here and see if I can cut off any forces that might potentially come across this way. I would love to push down and try and help with the BCAV, but unfortunately I don't think I'm going to be able to help too much there. Now the Aoba looking like it's a potential target. Just getting an idea in which direction she's actually going. Time to start minsking away. Getting a fire. This is what it's all about, really. Now she's probably too far away for me to effectively use armor piercing. I'm going to switch my guns off to my left side because we're seeing that an enemy guidey is now coming around. Now obviously the guidey does have sonar, so if he does pop a smoke screen, I'm probably not too interested in actually pushing any closer to him. Right, switching the guns back off to my port side, doing a quick hard 180. We have a smoke screen. We have what we got left on the enemy team. Obviously, we have a California Queen Elizabeth. We also have an Aoba, and then we have a Shiratsuyu, a Fubuki, and a Ganevi. Gonna have our engine boost again, and it's very tempting to use that. Because the faster we go, the harder we are to hit. Closing in the general vicinity of the nearest enemy target. Oh, is it the Aoba? Oh, we have a Shiratsuyu. Okay, so we're going to use this island in order to not get hit by the Aoba. I'm very tempted to actually pop a smoke screen here. Let's use that damage con then. See if we can drop off undetected. Okay, there goes the Shiratsuyu. Who's the next closest? Fubuki. Let's see what we can do with this then. Fubuki seems to be doing some very interesting turnouts at the last moment. Just noting that the torpedo's coming in. Just find the big gap in them. Right, expecting the Aoba any second soon. No, we're going to switch our guns off to our left. I think if we're going to go after this Aoba, it's going to have to be guts or glory. Oh, she's off to this side now. Now I want to buy as much time for my turrets to traverse in this smoke screen before I have to start motoring along. 17 seconds, are they going to be able to turn around in time? I think we're just going to have to start making a move. Quickly. Put the fire out. Managed managed to get those torpedoes out, but unfortunately the secondary, was it the secondaries or might have been the rear turret of the AO, but unfortunately finished us. But yeah, getting ourselves a Confederate medal at the last moment, and taking down the one who killed us with us. So hopefully, maybe, not too sure. I don't think we're going to be winning this one. Unfortunately, the Nuremberg is not pushing with his aggressive sonar, so that destroyer is going to be able to take advantage of them too much. Our battleships are trying to obviously get behind. They want to be behind the Nuremberg in order to have some form of protection, but unfortunately I don't think they're going to have it. And on the enemy team we have Fubuki, which has got very good torpedo range, and the Queen Elizabeth, and the Queen Elizabeth hasn't been spotted for a good while. Oh well, until the end screen, Colonel Bogey's march. Well, here we are at the end screen. Managed to get ourselves 78,000 damage. Unfortunately, it is a defeat. 102 hits on target there with the main guns, so it's very much all about the guns. Only 4 torpedo hits, of which some were probably in the last death throes against the enemy Aoba. Getting ourselves 2 kills, which was I think the Suyu and the Aoba, and getting ourselves Confederate, which is actually quite nice. Going to the teams, yep, fair enough. Can't really complain about that. The enemy team, I think if our team had more time, I think they could have taken down the Queen Elizabeth, but unfortunately, even though the enemy did try to win harder, they couldn't quite throw the game for their team, I guess you could say. And yeah, made themselves a nice tidy profit as well, even though it was a defeat. So yeah, all in all, quite happy with that. If you enjoyed it, feel free to give it a thumbs up, and if you like this kind of content, feel free to subscribe. As always, down in the description is the commander build and the ship modules, along with the channel email address and the link to Patreon if you want to support the channel on Patreon. Until next time, I'm the Galloping Major, and back to the port.